Good morning, dear students. Today I am going to explain you the design of riveted joint. When you want to design a riveted joint, you have to find out the failure of the riveted joint. There are certain criteria to check the strength of an riveted joint. The first failure of a riveted joint is tearing of the plate at an edge. Generally, what happens when two plates are connected by a rivet, and if a rivet is very close to the one of the plate, and when the force is acting tensile, the rivet may be teared off due to close distance of that rivet from the plate edge. So to avoid the failure of the rivet joint by means of the tearing of the plate, you have to keep a margin which is equal to 1.5 d, where d is the diameter of a rivet. Second failure of a rivet joint is a tearing of a plate across the row of rivet. Right now, if I look at the diagram, there are two rivets are there along the line. That is called, you can say, the distance between two rivets is called the pitch. And if d is the diameter of the rivet, we have the area P minus d is the resisting area of the rivet. So when the tensile force acting on the plate, this plate may be filled across the by the failure of a plate across the row of rivet. So to find out the failure, we have a tearing resistance Pt, which is equal to P minus d T sigma T, where the T is the thickness of the plate, P is the pitch, D is the diameter of a rivet hole, and sigma T permissible tensile stress which is acting on the plate. The third failure of the rivet is the shearing of the rivet. In this, what happened here, the two plates are connected one above each other by means of a single rivet. So when the tensile force acting, because of tensile force, this rivet may get bent or it may get sheared. So the failure of the rivet will be occurred because of the shearing of a rivet. So to find out the formula, force which is required to shear to hold the rivet, PS, that's the shearing, n pi by 4 d square tau, where n is the number of rivets and pi by 4 d square is what a single shear. This single shear is generally used for the lap joint. Then the fourth one, a crushing of the rivet. Generally, rivet fail because of the ovality occurred on a rivet. The rivet hole becomes ovals in a shape, and due to which what happens, the joint become loose. So to the failure of the rivet in such manner is known as a bearing failure. The crushing resistance or a pull required per to crush the rivet per piece length is given by PC is equal to NDT sigma c, where dt is what the projected area and is the number of rivets and sigma c is the crushing strength. Then the last, you have to check out the efficiency. Then what happened here, we found out the failure of the rivet by means is take place by means of tearing, that's a tensile force. It may fail by means of the shearing tau, or it may be failed by means of the crushing of the rivets. So if the rivet failure occurred by either tearing or shearing or a crushing, the efficiency of the rivet joint you have to find out. To find out the efficiency of the rivet joint, you have to check out the strength of the plate without riveting. So in this case, what you have to find out the strength of the unriveted joint, which is equal to P into T into sigma T. Okay, the efficiency, which will be the list of PT, PS, and PC, upon Pt into sigma t. So just note on the first problem. A double riveted lap joint is made between 50 mm thick plate. The rivet diameter and pitch are 25 and 75 mm respectively. If the ultimate shears are 400 megapascal in tension, 320 megapascal in shear, and 640 megapascal in crushing, find the minimum force per pitch which will rupture the joint. If the joint is subjected to a load such that the factor of safety is 4, find out the actual stresses developed in the plate and the rivet. So in this case, what you happen? You have to find out the minimum force which is used to hold the rivet or which will fail the joint. In this, the problem, the plate thickness is given T is equal to 15 mm, the diameter of a rivet is given 25 and the pitch is given 25 mm. Okay. Then later on happen, here the permissible tensile stress sigma t, tau and sigma c is given. Okay. So to find out the minimum force, you have to check out the failure. The first one is what the ultimate tearing resistance of the plate, which is given by PTU is equal to P minus DT sigma TU. From this one, you can put the value of the pitch and the diameters. You will get the value of permissible tensile resistance, which is equal to PT is equal to 3 lakhs newtons. Then later on, you have to find out the shearing resistance, that is what the ultimate shearing resistance of a rivet per pitch length, which is given by PS, which is equal to n pi by 4 d tau d square tau. This what in this the lap joint is what a double riveted, that's why n is equal to 2, and from that one you can get the value of the shearing resistance is what 3,14,000 Newton. And the last one is what ultimate crushing strength PSU, that is what a PCU is equal to NDT sigma CU. So in this case, what happened again? Diameter we got the value. So better way we got the value of 4,80,000 newtons. So here we got the three value: one for the tearing, one for the shearing, and one for the crushing. From looking at the calculations here, the permissible tensile stress will of the joint the will be minimum, that is about 3 lakhs, and the failure of the rivet joint will take place by means of the tearing. Okay, so later on what happened here, this is what we can see the ultimate. Okay, later on what you have to find out the actual stresses developed on the joint. So here the factor of safety is defined. So we'll divide this 3 lakhs minimum force of 3 lakhs newton divided by factor of safety 4. We got what the 75,000 newton load. Okay, so once you got the 75,000 Newton load, you have to find out actual stresses induced on the body. Okay, so actual stress in the body was for the first one the tearing, which is equal to PT, P minus D, T sigma T. Here we got the sigma T is equal to, by putting the value of 75, 25, that's what you can the pitch, diameter, thickness, and the sigma T, that sigma T you have to find out. We got about 100. Same for the sharing. Okay, here sharing we got what the 76.43 by calculations, and by actual crushing we got what again 100. Okay, thanks for watching. Okay, uh, good morning. This is what the second lecture of the riveted joint. So we are moving toward the next problem. That's the second problem. Find the efficiency of the following riveted joint. The condition number 1 is there: single riveted lap joint of 6 mm plate with 20 mm diameter having a pitch length 50 mm. And second condition is what? Double riveted lap joint of 6 mm plate thickness with 20 mm diameter having pitch is 65 mm. Okay, in this you have to assume the permissible stresses, that is tension sigma t 120, tau 90, and sigma c, that's the crushing 180 megapascal, that is what 180 newton per mm square. Here the plate thickness what the 6 mm. Okay, so we'll work out the first condition. When the plate thickness is 6 mm with the diameter of a rivet hole 20 mm and the pitch is what 50. Okay, so you have to refer the data book. In that data book, page number 16 is there. In that page number 16, the heading is given what a riveted joint. So you'll find out the first, the tearing resistance of a rivet, which is given by Pt is equal to P minus D T sigma D. Just put the value of pitch and the diameter and the plate thickness as well as the permissible tensile stress. We got the load acting, that is what, 21,600 Newton. Okay, that's what the tearing load. Second, sharing resistance of a rivet, which is equal to what, PS is equal to nx pi by 4 d square tau. Here is what the single riveted. That's what n is equal to 1. Okay, n is equal to 1. Okay, so PS is equal to pi by 4 d square tau. Here we got the value of 28,260 Newton. Okay, and the third is there, the crushing resistance of a rivet, which is equal to PC is equal to n dt sigma c. Okay, again put the value of n, diameter, thickness, and crushing strength. Here we got the value of the 21,600 Newton. So we got the three value of the load. One is what, the tearing, one for the sharing, and third one the crushing. So which is what the list, 21,600 is the list value. Okay, then you have to check out the strength of the plate. The strength of the plate, that's what, unriveted joint or a plate, which is given by P is equal to PT sigma T. Just put the value. We got the value of what, 36,000 Newton. So you have to check out the efficiency. The formula is given that what in our data book, N is equal to list of PT, PS, and PC, which is upon strength of the unriveted plate. Okay. So in this way, you put the value of these things. We got what, 26,000 to 600, 21,600 upon 36,000. So zero point 0.6, that was 60% efficiency. So at the first condition, when the plate thickness is 6 mm and we having a diameter 20 and the pitch 50, we got the efficiency what, the 60. Okay. The condition number 2 is there when the pitch is what, 65 and it's double riveted. So here what, double riveted, that's what, n is equal to 2. Again just put the value, just find out the value for the tearing resistance by putting the value of pitch. Here pitch is equal to what, 65, diameter is 26, and the sigma d we got what, 32,400 Newton. Sharing resistance, we got the value n x pi by 4, that is what, n double riveted is there, that's why we are considering n is equal to 2. So we got the PS is equal to what, 56,548 Newton. And the third one is what, the crushing resistance of rivet at PCU, which is equal to what, n dt t sigma c. The formula is given in the data book. You have to just refer that data and you have to get the answer. So by referring this one, we got the three value, what, 21,000, 32,400, 56,548, and what, 43,200. So the list value is what, the 32,400. Again you have to check out the strength of the unriveted plate, which is what, 46,800. So here we got the efficiency for the second condition, which was 69 percentile. Next problem is there, third problem, a double riveted double cover butt joint. A plate having 20 mm thick is made with 25 mm diameter rivet at 100 mm pitch. The permissible stresses are sigma t tau and sigma c is given. Find the efficiency of a rivet. Taking the strength of the rivet is double shear as twice that of the single shear. Okay, in this case what happened? A double riveted double cover butt joints. We know that for a butt joints, the two cover plates are there, one at the above and one at the below. Okay, so definitely what the shearing will be take place in the double shear. So we'll find out the basic things which is given: thickness 20 mm, diameter 25 mm, pitch 100 mm, sigma t is what, 120 Newton per mm square, tau is equal to 100, and sigma c is equal to what 150 Newton per mm square. So first tearing of the plate, which is equal to what, Pt is equal to P minus D T sigma c. Again just refer the data book. We got the value of what, 1,80,000 Newton. Okay, the sharing in this case what we have considered, what, an x pi by 4 d square. Here the plate is what, the double cover butt joint. That's what it's in a double shear. That's why we have taken the value x is equal to 2. In this problem x is equal to 2. So and 2 pi by 4 d square, we got the value. Sharing resistance of a rivet equal to 196 to 50. And the third one is what, the crushing resistance of a rivet, PC is equal to n dt sigma c. Here number of rivets are what, double riveted, that's why n is equal to 2. The value of diameter of a rivet, that we got the 25. The plate thickness is what, 20 mm, and what the sigma c crushing strength is what, 1,50,000. So the strength of the joint is equal to list of these three, one of the three. So we got about value 1,50,000 Newton. Okay, to check out the efficiency of the joint, strength of the unriveted plates, we got the value of P is equal to PT sigma T. that is what 2,40,000 Newton. Okay, so from this one we got the efficiency is equal 62.5. So basically what happened in problem number 1, 2 and 3, we have the values like thickness, diameter of a rivet hole, pitch and the permissible value. So from this one you can easily find out the other parameters of a riveted joint. Okay, in next session we'll discuss about when the if the diameter is not given and other parameters not given and you have to design a rivet joints, what which procedure that you have to follow, I will explain in that next lecture. Okay, thanks for watching this video.